Good morning. It is 8:21, and Casey Donahue Band, Ramblin' Kind. I do believe that our Rodeo Association has brought them in before. Is that correct?
Yes, we did. I was trying to remember how long ago it was, but we did a concert in the Spur several years ago, I think.
That was PT, pre-Tom.
That was.
Everybody, we have got. You've been around a long time. That wasn't pre-Tom.
No, what, 5-6 years?
Yeah.
I think that's it. No, seriously, we might have put him out at the Roping Fiesta, but y'all had a concert in the Spur one time, didn't y'all?
Twice. Josh Abbott, too.
All right.
Okay, before y'all get going back and forth here, I want to introduce.
Somebody used to take care of that for us,
Yes.
and they're not here this morning.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, from our Rodeo Association, we have Tom Thompson, who is the marketing manager. We also have Brittany Kasich, who is a livestock director, and Macy Swartz is missing in action. What's the deal?
Yeah, she broke up with us when we left here last month.
She
In the parking lot?
a month ago, she couldn't take the heat of being on the radio here in the morning, and she resigned her position with us, and she's gone to work for Shannon Hospital.
Oh, man. Well, I know you're going to miss her, and I know that Shannon's going to love having her on board.
For sure.
Well, we hate to admit that, but we'll say, yeah, we're with you. We're with you on that.
I heard a little pause there. It's like, I don't know if we want to admit that we're going to actually miss her.
I don't want to let her get away with that, but we will. We will this once.
She was great. And Macy was the livestock coordinator, and I know that you're working on filling that position again.
Yes.
And that's coming up. Well, we've got a number of things to talk about, a little bit of ground to cover. So first off, Tom, I know that you just had a big meeting and banquet, so tell me how that went and when it was.
Well, last Thursday we had our annual banquet, mainly for our volunteers and the people that will help with the rodeo all the way through it. And it's great. We recognize these people, bring them in, and we gave away some 20-year pins, some 40-year pins. The new officers rotate and elect in. We'll get to that here in a minute. Okay. And then, but most of all, I'll kind of kick it over to Brittany. Kind of our purpose in what we do is to help young children, and I won't say young children, but young adults who we hope will be the future leaders of this country. And I'll throw it to Britt. They had some wonderful selections last week.
Talk to us, Brittany. Tell me about it.
All right. Well, this year we had, I think, over 80 applicants for our scholarship program that is, hosted or whatever by the Sanangelo Stock Show and Rodeo Foundation, which, of course, is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Right. And that's what we give our scholarship funds through. So this year, we were able to award 14 total scholarships to young people in this area and across the state of Texas. And we had 13 $8,000 scholarships, and we started a couple of years ago a Kermit Windland scholarship, and that is in the amount of $16,000 that went to one kid too. So that's great.
That is so wonderful, and we got to throw a big thank you to all the people that support the rodeo, come to the performances, come to the Midway, and just support it in so many ways.
That's exactly right. The cook-off that we have, the rodeo tickets, like you said, grounds admission, all of the money the association makes goes into the foundation to be, distributed and handled by the foundation. And it all in some way or fashion goes into the scholarship fund to help these young people go to college and be the future leaders in our industries.
And we don't want to we don't want to miss out on making sure we recognize those that got involved in the premium sale. That's a big one.
Right.
And I think some people confuse or sometimes get those two mixed up. The premium sale is for the kids that, 194, 216?
There's 206, I think, now.
206 now that go through, and that money is a premium sale from the local community business, and 100% of that goes back to them. None of that goes to the stock show and rodeo.
Oh, okay.
All right, so people don't understand that, and Brittany spends, I think, half her life figuring out where all that money goes and getting it back, and, we spend a good 5 or 6 months getting all the premium sale money straight 100% conveyed back to those students or those exhibitors that cross the stage. And the money that's spent in sponsorships and rodeo goes into the foundation money, and that comes back, and that's how we pay scholarships. And what's really cool is, and I really enjoyed this because the Kermit Windland Award, Kermit's probably the hardest working man in the world, and he's out there, he manages our grounds for us. We have 14 scholarships, and the kids all come up. We give 13 of them at $8,000, and then one of them, the 14th one, doesn't know it, but gets bumped up to the 16,000. I actually knew the kid and actually saw him Saturday at a 4-H shoot and visited with him for an hour. And Ian's just one of the best kids I've ever met. So,
and he's got to be totally excited now.
You know what? He was floored, and his mother was crying, talking to me Saturday how grateful they were. And I thought, boy, you couldn't find a more deserving kid and a better future to lay that money into.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Brittany, I want to come back to you because I know you put it together. You got a new website that you're working on.
Yeah, it's the same great web address, Sanangelo.youtube.com, but we're getting a facelift, and we're really excited about it. We're still probably about 2.5 weeks from it launching, but we want everyone to be aware it's going to be much more user-friendly. So if you're saying, hey, I want to know what rodeo tickets cost, you will literally go to our website. There will be a button at the top that says rodeo. You'll hover over it, and it'll say ticket prices, and you can click it and get all of that information with hardly any effort.
That much more user-friendly.
Exactly.
And your website, I got to say, has always been fantastic. It's always been full of information, very informative. But now it even goes to the next level.
It will. We're really excited. There are some people that for some reason have had trouble finding stuff. And so this new design is going to give us a lot more options. And, you know, if there's ever something you're looking for that you can't find, all you have to do is shoot us an email or give us a call, and we can help fix that for you. So,
All right.
yeah.
Tom, I want to come back to you. You mentioned that during the banquet that you had, you elected new officers. So tell me about that.
Yeah. Every year we rotate some in and out, and then every 2 years we rotate out with a new president, and everybody that's in the VP and the secretary treasurer makes a little bit of a change. So as Joey Henderson was our outgoing president, we promoted and moved up Frankie Irwin Swartz, and Frankie's one of the Swartz from Walls, and he's gone through. God, he's been a volunteer out there for ever. And we're as a diehard pig person, we hope he doesn't make us change our URL to Sanangelo.youtube.com. But we're watching that. That's kind of the joke we've worn out around the office. But we've done that, and we welcome Frankie in, and we're glad to have him here. And I'll toss it over to Brittany. We kind of pulled in some new new board of directors. We threw in three new.
The rest of our officer team is Larry Garvin is the vice president, Doran Reynolds is the treasurer, and Mike Boyd is the secretary. So we're glad to have those guys on board. And then we got 3 new board members as well. Reed Stewart out of Sterling City, and Kevin Collins at the Bentwood Country Club, and Ladd Hughes at Bowman Industries. So those are 3 great guys that'll do a lot of work for us and help our association grow even more.
Fantastic. All right, Tom, back to you as far as upcoming. It'll be here before we know it, the roping fiesta.
Well, absolutely. And I know everybody calls up there and goes, what do y'all do now? Or, well, we're always at work. And I mean, there's discussions right now going on what we're going to do at Roping Fiesta. And Roping Fiesta is like the 28th, 29th, and 30th. It's always the final full weekend in October. So we're looking at making changes there. We've got a new construction project that we don't want to jinx it in any way, but let's just say the Buffalo Social Club will have a whole new view.
Hey, I like it already.
It is under construction as we speak, and we're hoping to launch it at Roping Fiesta to do something a little fresh and different.
Okay.
And, you know, we're working on Roping Fiesta at this time. We've got our benefit shoot in August, but I've been listening to Brittany over there moan and scream and everything, and she's working on the livestock show for next year.
You know, it'll be here before we know it. We use that term some, but it is so true, and we have one of the largest in the entire world as far as our rodeo and livestock show, and so I'm sure that it's a year long. You got to get it together.
It is, and if you're wanting to go ahead and mark your calendar, I think some folks in town kind of missed that we started a weekend earlier this year, but we're going to go ahead and start on February 3rd again next year and run through the 19th. And, you know, if you're one of those livestock show kids that keeps calling my office wanting to know when your show is, I should have that on our website by the end of today. So,
well, you're missing half your hair. Half your hair's gone because you've been pulling it out this past week working on a schedule.
Yes. It's very time consuming, and it's a lot more than just throwing sticks in the air and letting them fall where they go.
Well, and a lot of people don't see that, Chuck, and they don't understand. You know, there's a lot of kids that show in multiple shows, so they're not only in a market show, they're in a breed show. They show lambs, they show goats, they show pigs, they show steers. And Brittany and Justin spent a lot of time looking at that, going, well, a lot of these kids, let's not overlap them. Then we have to make sure we don't overlap with the show at another place or another one in the state of Texas. And it's just, it would really open some people's eyes to see how much time and effort because I know y'all spent 3-4 solid days just trying to confirm and get the right show at the right time, so it doesn't put a conflict on any student. They can make everything available.
That works so well. And the kids, I know, love that. And the parents love that, not to have scheduling conflicts and that sort of thing, too.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. And one last thing, I like to mention this every once in a while because we are so fortunate to have our fairgrounds that has everything from the Coliseum to the Spur Arena to
The
Wells Fargo Pavilion, the show barns. We have so many facilities for rent out there that I know the big Bulls of the West is coming in here very soon. And you've got all kinds of events that you're always renting out to. So what's the best way if somebody wants to lease one of those facilities for something?
Just call our office. It's 325-653-7785. Brenda, that answers the phone there, can give you some information, and then we'll get with Kermit and check scheduling and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, lots of activities going on all summer in the Spur Arena, Bulls of the West. We have a U.S. roping, so just call Brenda, and she can get you some information and check the calendar for you.
All right, fantastic. And website, Tom?
Well, if it doesn't turn to SanAngeloPigShow.com, we're going to keep it as SanAngeloRodeo.com and www.SanAngeloRodeo.com.